Good morning. Today we'll be talking to Bobby Henline, who runs an organization called Forging Forward. Bobby is a veteran, a comedian, a motivational speaker, and a gentleman that has been through a lot. He's given a lot for his country, and now he's giving back to others who need that help. If you want more information, please go to forgingforward.org and learn more about the great work that Bobby and his team are doing. We hope you enjoy the podcast. Well, Bobby, thanks for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is retired Staff Sergeant Bobby Henline, retired from the U.S. Army in 2011. Spent 14 years. I did 4 tours of Iraq. During my 4th tour, my Humvee was blown up by a roadside bomb. It killed the other 4 men in my Humvee. Burned me over 38% of my body. I lost my left hand. I spent 6 months in the hospital. 3 years total recovery, kind of getting used to it, back on my feet again, get my independence back. 48 surgeries to get to where I am today, 18 years later. It's been a long recovery. I use my sense of humor to get through it all. I think as a human being, and especially being in the military or first responders, we have a dark sense of humor that kind of gets us through a lot of stuff that we see and go through. And I was just doing that. Through my recovery, using my sense of humor to get through it. It's a great defense mechanism, coping mechanism. And by doing that, my occupational therapist thought I should do stand-up comedy. She thought, oh my God, you'd be hilarious. And I thought, there's no way this is going to work to the general public. At the hospital, of course, wounded veterans, hospital staff, they're used to that dark humor. But I thought there's no way that I get the general public to laugh at what happened to me. After about a year of her nagging me, I decided to go try it to prove her wrong, that I cannot do stand-up comedy. It's not going to work. 15 years later today, I'm still trying to prove her wrong that it won't work.
That's a great story.
I got into comedy at first is like, hey, what makes you stand out? What are you different? You got to brand yourself from the other comedians. I'm like, look, I'm already branded. So that's when I became the well-done comedian.
You've already bombed, so to speak.
Right? Yeah. Then he's like, were you nervous your first time on stage? Like, I've bombed worse before. I'll be all right.
That's great.
Yeah, Bobby, not putting ourselves in your same category or to compare our experiences with yours in any type of way. But, Doug and I's backgrounds are both paramedics. And we've seen a lot of bad things in our jobs. And it's strange that comedy and humor is how paramedics deal with a lot of things, dealing with that trauma that we deal with on a daily basis. And I guess it's kind of sick, but comedy and humor is kind of how we keep our sanity in what we do as well.
Right. You got to kind of help dehumanize what's going on, because otherwise we take on that burden of everything that we see that happens to somebody else. We end up taking it on. That puts a lot of pressure on ourselves of going through the same pain those people are going through, reliving that stuff. And, like you said, you want to compare what you've been through, but you should. I look at it this way: no matter what anybody's been through in their life, it's the worst thing that they've been through. It's the same as the worst thing I've been through. It's the physical part. Maybe that's a little more worse. You haven't gone through the same physical aspect, but mentally, and that's the hardest part. It's the worst thing the most horrible thing you've seen, and it's just as equal. And it takes the same amount of courage to continue on and to live through that stuff that's always there. And like with first responders, I always say, I hear a lot from law enforcement, the Leos, that say that, oh, it's not the same thing as you guys go through. But as a paramedic, as a police officer, a firefighter, you're seeing this trauma in your hometown. We go away to a war somewhere in another country, and we can say, all right, we got to talk to ourselves. We're not home right now. I'm just driving through Arizona. This is not Iraq. It's the things that might remind you of that. But you guys are now with your family the next day driving through that same intersection where you just saw a child lose their life, or a family, lose a loved one. And that to me seems a lot harder mentally to deal with in a long-term situation.
Thanks. Listen, this is unscripted. I know y'all have some questions in mind. So if you want me to ask you the question or him the question, just tell me what to ask.
Okay, well, I guess, Doug, I guess I'd like to ask you, as the president of our company, your particular opinion of the importance of us as a company, what we do to support our veterans and our first responders.
Well, I think it's very important that as a company, your company culture reflects how you feel as a person. And all of us respect and appreciate the sacrifices of any veteran that they've given to the country. So our company participating in this type of organization is vital to our mission to give back to the people that gave so much for us.
Yeah, and as a co-owner of Pharma-Safe, I have children who served in the military. My co-owner, Lannis Belair, is a veteran. And so for me, it's really important that I have an avenue to I guess, show my support for the veterans. Because when I was a father of a infantry Marine who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, his mother and I felt hopeless. You worry about his life 24/7, even though he always said, well, he's not in harm 24/7, but you don't know that as a parent. And so we really felt lost. My daughter served on a destroyer in the Navy out of Pearl Harbor. And so me getting involved with organizations that supported our military was a coping mechanism for us. Felt like we were at least doing something to show our support for them. And so about 15 years ago, I started being involved with an organization called Run for the Wall. It's a motorcycle-based event, and every year we would cross the country. It would start in the Los Angeles area of California. It'd be a 10-day ride across the country. We'd stop and visit memorials, veterans hospitals, communities across the country supporting our military. And we'd arrive in Washington, D.C. on the Friday before Memorial Day. And the mission would end at the Vietnam Wall. And so we've been involved in that for 15 years. It was a great therapy for us. And it just showed how important it is that we get the word out about the sacrifices that have been paid for the freedom that we have. And when we first began this, I really started giving up on hope of our country. We just felt like nobody cared anymore. All you would see is the stuff on the news and everything was bad. But then when we crossed the country on those motorcycles and went through the small towns and crossed the country, and you saw the American flags everywhere and people lining up on the highways to greet us, it really renewed our hope in the country, renewed our faith in the country. And so in addition to the benefit we gave in exposure for our veterans and the causes of our veterans, it was also beneficial for us as individuals of renewing our faith in the country and the hope in our country. So that was a very important experience, and I played roles from road guard and leading the hundreds of motorcycles across the country to route coordinator of organizing all of that stuff. And now I have the privilege and honor of serving as the president of an organization called Combat Hero Bike Build. Combat Hero Bike Build was founded by two veterans of the Run for the Wall organization, John Barker and Ray McDowell. They went to an event where motorcycles were involved, and it was at a Marine base. And John, who is a Marine, just had a burning desire in his heart when he saw when he saw this event going on, and he saw the veterans in wheelchairs and disabled veterans, and he just felt the need of doing something about that. He said, we got to do something for these veterans. And that's when they formed the Combat Hero Bike Build. And that mission was to build modified custom motorcycles to give to these veterans that have sacrificed so much for our country. So all these motorcycles are customized, modified to adapt to the handicaps that the veterans have, and to give them a new life in some freedom and some wind therapy that they thought they would never have again. So it's been a phenomenal organization. It was started in 2013, and in 2014, they gave the first bike away. And to this date, we've given away 41 motorcycles.
Wow.
And I'm pleased to say Bobby is one of our newest recipients right now. So, Bobby, if you don't mind, if you would kind of share your experience of receiving that motorcycle and maybe the effect that it's had on your life.
Yes, I'm recipient 41. I received the bike July 26th of 2025 this year, just a few months ago. And to go back to my childhood, that dream of always riding motorcycles since I was a kid. I had a bike in my early 20s and then started having children and said, all right, I got to get rid of the bike, could buy cribs. I had to sell the bike so I get cribs and food and support the family. So I thought, again, after the military, when I retired, my dream was to retire from the Army, drive a school bus during the winter, and in summer have off and ride a bike and have a beard down to my belly button, and just ride free and enjoy the freedom of this country that, I helped provide all those years and just enjoy it. And that therapy has always been amazing. But again, after getting injured in 2007 at 35 years old, I thought those dreams were over. My career was over. My dreams of ever riding again was over. Didn't think it was possible. I looked at a different couple options after I was injured. It's like, we can't do that. I went and first looked at the Can-Ams when those came out and thought, I can do this, but then all the switches on the left side instead of the right side. And how do I do that? I don't know how to do that and change the bike up. And still, what other problems would I have? I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't understand how to make that work. So I kind of let it go. And then it was about 6 years ago when the American Legion riders in Colorado told me about Combat Hero Bike Build. I thought, that's so awesome. That's cool. But I hate asking for stuff. A lot of us that serve just hate asking for things, and we appreciate it so much, but we don't want to ask. And it took me about a year to finally go, all right, I'm going to ask. And so I signed up, got accepted. And again, like 5 years later, it's a long list. There's a lot of us out there. There's a long war trying to get these bikes. And the day I got it, or shoot, the day I found out I was, they announced that next year at this time, Bobby Henline is going to get his bike in July. I was out mowing the lawn, and my wife came running out to tell me something with her phone. And I'm like, this got to be an emergency. She never stops me from mowing the yard because, one, I'm leaving her alone. And that's therapy out there in the tractor riding around and just doing that. You all know that's therapy itself. So I turned off the lawnmower, and she ran up and she just shoved her phone in my face, a Facebook post. And I read that I was getting my bike and bursted into tears, just like it's happening. It's really happening. I am a big crybaby. It's just amazing just to know, and then the build up for that time coming up for the bike. And then the last, I think it was the last 10 days, 6 days is when I started doing the countdown. I started counting down the 6 days on social media, about 6 more days, 5 more days. And to get there and receive that bike, it was just overwhelming in a good way. One of the great things that I really love too is the past recipients that came out, because you're nervous, you're scared, no matter how much experience you have, to ride a bike again now knowing I can only hang on with one hand. It's nerve-wracking. Am I really going to ride this bike? Am I going to be able to do this? Is this true? Is this really happening? And you're really nervous. You're excited. You're scared. But having those past recipients there to show me how they've adapted, because it doesn't matter. If somebody else is missing one hand, it could be the other hand. Different lengths of where they're missing the arm, how much of the residual limb or as we like to call nubs and stubs, how much do they have left? And where mine doesn't straighten out, it stays bent. So that again, that's another adjustment I got to make. But again, to have them there was, oh my God, that helped out a lot. Having the past recipients there with me, having my wife there with me helped out, because even going on stage all those times, speaking or doing comedy, the nerves in me for the reveal, the excitement, all that emotions, all in one, was just amazing. I you see, I can't even find the right words to put it in to explain that feeling. I've had the bike since the end of July now, and we're coming up on the end of October, and I've already got to 2,600 miles of wind therapy. And I wasn't sure if I was just going to ride the trailer at the shows to show people, and look at this is so cool to what they do with veterans, and watch me ride 5 blocks around. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. And after a couple of times of trying to figure it out myself, and and of course Billy Hallman, who built the bike, Outcast Cycles, took me for my first ride around Colorado on the bike. We got done with that ride, and I guess I go back and say, it's a 2012 Street Glide, donated, and they put a Frankenstein kit on to make it to a trike. We got done with the ride, and Billy says, Bobby, leaning's not going to help you at all. But to me, going back on a bike, you ride a bike, you lean into the corners, and that's how we turn. And so I still, 2,600 miles later, on some of those sharper turns, I'm gonna lean with it. I just feel more comfortable leaning with it.
Muscle memory.
Yeah. But it's true. I still cry. I'd be cruising down the parkway here in Kentucky, just like looking around at the cows and the horses in the fields and doing, I'm on a motorcycle. I'm riding a motorcycle right now. I look down and see the Harley Davidson gas tank between my legs and the ground going by. It's unreal. It's such great therapy, because what messes with us, we talked about earlier, is our minds. It's not the physical part, it's the mental part. And when you're on that bike and you're riding down the road, how present you got to be for safety when you're riding a bike. And that presence is there, scanning around me. What's coming up on the road? What's coming from the side of the road? What are the other drivers doing? You're constantly aware of what's happening around you, but then you take those couple moments and you go, wow, I'm doing it. And Combat Hero Bike Build made that possible for me and 40 other veterans so far. And I'm excited about the future and trying to help get this out to more veterans. And now, as Combat Hero Bike Build's talking about, going to first responders too. I'm excited and can't wait.
Hold on one second. I got to change the battery.
We dropped something here. Yeah, good stuff there, Bob. Appreciate you sharing your story there.
Yeah, of course.
See, very, very, very proud of our company. This year we do have a couple of documented saves with these people who work offshore that would not be alive right now if it wouldn't be for our guys out there. So very proud of that.
That's awesome. Yes. Yeah, my son just became a paramedic.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he was a correctional officer. He decided to go to a different field.
Tell me a little bit about your stand-up. How often do you get up?
A couple times a month. Go somewhere. The last 2 years I kind of pushed. Last year was more pushing clubs. This year we've been doing a lot of VFWs, American Legions and stuff, using it to do fundraisers for our nonprofit. And I think I like that more than the club scenes.
Bobby, one of the things that I'm really proud of and what I enjoyed about seeing on your bike, and hopefully we'll be able to share a picture of your bike on this podcast that you received. Like I said, not only did we want to honor you, but also one of our goals is that we never forget. And like you mentioned when you opened about your story, you were the only survivor from the attack. And the 4 guys that got killed in that attack, we will never forget them as well. And I love the fact that we have their 4 dog tags on your bike.
Yes, I
So
love
everywhere
that.
you ride, they are being represented with you.
Amen. Yeah, my angels are always with me. That's what I love what you guys do. The people that don't know Combat Hero Bike Build, they learn about the veteran, what they've been through, what their story is. They talk to their family members, and that way the bike is more personalized to them, and not just on their injuries, but their life too. And you guys did a great job of paying. I get compliments. People honk, stop at me at red lights, scream at me, wave, and thumbs up. They love the bike, just seeing it going down the road and what it represents. And it's amazing. It's truly me. That bike totally fits me perfectly.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I mean, I'm really proud and honored to be a part of Combat Hero Bike Build, representing it as its president right now. And I love the fact that I've seen an unveiling ever since the beginning of Combat Hero Bike Build, because we used to do an unveiling the Run for the Wall event in California every year. And it's just so emotional every time we see those veterans get a bike. It means so much to them and can be life-changing for so many of them. But one of the things that I did not like about it is that, we meet these fantastic veterans and we give them these bikes, and then it was kind of like, okay, here you go, appreciate you, have a nice life. And that's one of the things that disturbed me, and I wanted to do something different. And that's why I'm really excited to announce some of the things that we have going on right now, our plans moving forward in the future. One thing is we are now going to be including and honoring our first responders. So all our law enforcement, our firefighters, our EMS, and they will now also be eligible to apply for a bike, but they will have to meet the same criteria that our veterans do. They will have to be catastrophically injured while actually performing their duty in the line of duty, and their injuries have to prevent them from being able to go into a dealership and just buy a bike or a trike. It needs to be modified. So, as a first responder myself, I'm very proud and happy that we're going to be honoring those first responders as well. But in addition to that, we are very excited to announce that we are currently working on what we're calling our American Hero Honor Rides. And what we're going to do there is we're going to establish 2 rides to begin with. Our first one we're calling our Southwest Ride. It's going to start in Cave Creek, Arizona, where we're working with American Legion Post 34 there. And we're going to give a bike away to a recipient on April 11th, 2026 there. And that's on a Saturday. Then on the Sunday, we are going to start our first ever American Hero Honor Ride. And so we're going to have a motorcycle ride from there with ending in Fredericksburg, Texas, in the Hill Country. And we're going to invite all the past recipients to come with us, other veterans and first responders, and just patriots that want to come ride with us and honor our vets and our first responders along the way. Then in the works, be in September or October of 2026, we're going to have what we call our East Coast Ride. And it's going to start in Florida and it's going to end in Tennessee. And what I'm excited about for these routes is these are going to be annual routes that our veterans and our past recipients and first responders will be able to look forward to every year. And just like the experience we've had with Run for the Wall, these events will give an opportunity for you guys to meet other people in the same situation as you or Bobby, like the guys that you met in Colorado for the last bike we gave away for you there. I thought that was very special to see the past recipients getting together like that. But it'll give an opportunity for you to form the friendships, get support from others in the community, and just have that family culture that we would like to build, where we become one family and something that we can look forward to a good time with you year after year. So I'm really excited about that. That'll give something to look forward to instead of just giving a bike away and saying goodbye. You get a bike, give you a bike and say, we look forward to seeing you in the next route. So
right. That's so
I think that's going to be a great opportunity.
to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking for a lot of support for that. So anyone who sees this podcast and would like to support us, our website is combatheroBikeBuild.org. Please check us out.
Bobby, is there anything you want to share about what you do, how people can get a hold of you, find you, follow you?
Yeah, if anyone wants to know when the next comedy show is, the speaking engagement thing, you go to BobbyHenlineComedy.com. That would tell you my schedule, what's going on. We're starting to plan next year right now. Also, I have the Bobby Henline Foundation Forging Forward, which is forgingforward.org. We do retreats for veterans and first responders. You know, Ken, you mentioned it earlier. Be able to give back, still serve, and help others helps us too. That's how we help heal ourselves too. We all are giving people, and we did the jobs that we do. We like to serve others and help, and so we continue to do that. And I look forward to doing a lot more with Combat Hero Bike Build this coming year too. I'm excited.
Well, great. And I know you and your wife, Jamie, y'all are helping us out on the social media side, helping us to get the word out and helping us support us. We're very appreciative of that. And while I'm expressing appreciation, you know, I've been dealing with these veteran organizations, Run for the Wall and now Combat Hero Bike Build, for 15, going on 16 years. And I could not do what I'm doing without the support of Doug and the team we have here at Pharma-Safe. It's truly a company effort. You know, we all have to work together for us to be able to support these events. And so I want to express my appreciation to Doug and the team over here for Pharma-Safe for what they do that allows me to help serve you guys better.
Yeah, before you came in, Doug was telling me that's how they get you out of the office. Like, Ken's gone for a little while. We got him on his bike.
Well, it seems like every time I'm on the road, I'm away, business does better. So I don't mind going.
As a trend chart for that we have in a secret room.
By the way, the first bike in Cave Creek, Shiloh Harris, it was the name for that next year. We were roommates in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Small world.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Very
then
cool.
Alejo, who got the bike in Florida a month or so before me, he missing both hands. He actually, when I had my hand amputated, he didn't want to amputate his, and he had his son come up and check out my hand. And then he's like, "All right, I'm going to do it. And he had his hands amputated. It's
Wow.
yeah. When it comes to the burn guys, it's a small group of us. We pretty much know each other. It's an awesome family, and you don't really want to join the burn group family, but if you're there, you're there. We're good people. But I look forward to being there.
Bobby,
for these,
on
events
a
as much as I can.
different note,
Yeah.
did you go to an event at the Alamo in San Antonio? Okay.
Combat Hero Bike event at Alamo? Or
No.
something else?
It was I was strictly there. Had nothing to do with this, but we showed up at the Alamo, and they were actually celebrating some of the veterans, and there was one or two of them that were severely burned, and I was just wondering if you were there.
Oh yeah, depending on what year that was. I was in San Antonio for 11 years, so I did a lot of stuff there.
Okay.
When it was, yeah. We all look alike, Ken, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. That's why you got your beard going on right now, so we
Yes.
can tell you apart.
Stand out a little bit.
Yeah. So I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us here, Bobby.
I appreciate you guys having me and doing this. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
All right.
Nice to
Have a
meet you,
good
my
one.
friend.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
meet
what you
Doug.
do.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.